Alright, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachaha, Kodash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing His truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And I'm going to be responding to a video that was uploaded by the beloved brother, Hopeful Elect 3, as you see right here. Without further ado, let's get right into it. And by the way, fair use, fair use, fair use.
About the health of the job market. Steve Weisman joins us with the latest numbers from Challenger on job cuts. What's going on?
This is like a clue from like a cough or a sneeze or whatever, but announced corporate job cuts, Andrew, in the U.S. surging past 1 million so far this year, with 153,000 new layoffs announced just in October, according to Challenger. That is the worst October since 2003. Here are the numbers. October up 153. That compares with September. That's 100,000 more than September and 100,000 more than this time last year in October 2024. Andy Challenger commenting, some industries are correcting after the hiring boom of the pandemic, but this comes as AI adoption, softening consumer and corporate spending, rising costs drive belt tightening, and hiring freezes. Announced layoffs don't always lead to actual cuts, could take place from attrition, but the report puts in perspective what we've been reporting here day after day, week after week. Series of marquee announcements unveiled in recent weeks across
UPS, Targets, Starbucks, Paramount, Rivian, Amazon, ConocoPhillips, Applied Materials, Nestle, Molson Coors, Meta, International Banking. Let's look that up. Let's type in what? Let's type in what does IBM stand for? International. Okay, so International Business Machines. Okay. Continue. So International Business Machines. Then we have Booz Allen Hamilton.
U.S. industries, including UP.
So these are all the recently announced layoffs. Okay, and the majority of these companies are high-paying jobs, and I say the majority because Targets is not a high-paying job, not unless you are a manager or a boss there. Starbucks, same thing, not a high-paying job. UPS pays handsomely, I would like to say, especially delivery drivers. So UPS has cut a lot of jobs in America. Okay, Nestle, Amazon is a good paying job. Let's continue.
Yes, Amazon, Target, among others, Paramount, Rivian, all these companies there. Government has been responsible year-to-date for 308,000. But look at that, Tech 141, that could be where you see a lot of, maybe some in warehousing, but a big chunk of that's going to be UPS, as well as potentially some hit from reduced flows of trade. Retail's up there, as is services at 64,000.
Yeah, retail is up there. And in a matter of fact, my job where I currently work at will be closing down next year in January. So I am currently in the middle of looking for a different job, but that just goes to show you that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai, is using his left hand, starting with Satan, trickling down to the so-called elites, which are the so-called elites of this planet, which are the biblical Edomites. The Lord is using them to put a squeeze on this country.
You take out the Doge cuts, the numbers are a bit better at 800,000, but still well above last year. Challenger doesn't see much in the way of hiring. Some announcements are 35% below last year, and they're skeptical about the number of new hires for the holiday season.
Funny enough, if you Google layoffs, guess what? In the last 2 days, UPS, 48,000 jobs. Must be an anomaly. Maybe not. Paramount, 1,000. Target, 1,800. Chegg, 45% of workforce. Microsoft, 15,000 layoffs. What do you think that is? Do you think that that is no firing? No hiring, the great freeze? Or do you think that the companies are actually out there chopping their workforce right and left? And these are just bigger companies. What about mom and pops, huh? I mean, listen, I don't pay that much attention to the labor stats that we get because we all know they're going to be revised down anyway. We all know that none of the data we're going to get is correct. But this seems pretty clear to me that what we are being told about this great freeze is incorrect, which also lines up with my own personal experience of many of my loved ones who have been applying like crazy, who have been laid off, who can't find a job to save their lives. You cannot tell me that Americans are not struggling right now to get a job or to hold on to the ones they have. People are fearful with good reason. And this is the truth. And what's more, this is the beginning. You mean to tell me, oh, this is the worst it's going to get? I don't think so.
Today, a government-ordered nationwide scale-back of flights and a new question mark for travelers.
Nobody want to travel and then you end up getting stuck. So that's definitely a concern for a lot of us, for sure.
As the government shutdown enters its 38th day.
I think the shutdown is terrible, and it's affected my travel in that I woke up this morning not knowing whether or not I could take my flight.
Meanwhile, over 1 million federal workers have been without pay for at least a month, many forced to stay on the job. And many air traffic controllers and TSA workers are calling out sick. TSA agent and mother of two, Maggie Sabatino, is watching her pantry closely, staying home for a specific reason.
When I call out, I tell them the truth. Can't afford childcare. This is enough to hold over for maybe another week.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy addressed reporters at Ronald Reagan National Airport outside Washington, D.C. today, blaming the Senate and most of all Democrats for not acting with enough urgency.
They should be here every day.
And don't be fooled by what you hear in this video. Okay, this has nothing to do with the Senate not acting with enough urgency. This has a lot to do with the so-called elites who have an agenda known as the New World Order, where they want to put a squeeze on the economy, on the financial system, and on society, so they can get people to go out there, riot, protest, make an uproar, rally. So then the so-called elites can use the government to come with a justifiable solution, their justifiable solution, because it's not justifiable in the eyes of the Lord, but justifiable in the eyes of the so-called elites. Then they can come with their solution, which will only lead to more of your rights being taken away, more of your so-called freedoms being taken away, more of your so-called constitutional rights being chopped away at. And then eventually, you people will be left with nothing. Then you'll be out there looting, you'll be out there breaking into departments, you'll be breaking into department stores, grocery stores, corner stores, gas stations. You know, it's gonna get so bad out here that people are they're just gonna say, fuck it, and all hell's gonna break loose. Okay? People's gonna be raiding stores and getting all the food they can get. And basically, that's going to lead to what? A famine, you know, because a grocery store can only hold up to 3 days worth of food, assuming that no more food trucks will come in to bring the food. So, this has nothing to do with the Senate acting with a sense of urgency, because who controls the Senate? The so-called elites do. And when I say the so-called elites, I'm talking about the Rothschilds, the richest family upon the whole face of the earth. Okay? The Senate is not acting on their own accord without the approval of the so-called elites. So let's go.
Every week trying to find a deal so we can open the government back up.
At an event later in the day, Duffield...
And they're not going to find a deal because the so-called elites do not want this country to bounce back. The Rothschilds, the most richest family on the planet, they don't want this economy to recover. They don't want America to go back to how it was in the 1930s, the 1920s, the 1950s. They want to crash this place. They want America to go into an uproar so they can come with their solutions, which will indefinitely lead to the New World Order.
warned flight reductions could go as high as 20% if the government shutdown drags on through the holiday season. Senate Democrats said the cancellations were political, and on the Senate floor made an offer for ending the shutdown.
Every single one of these people here are actors, okay? They're actors. They're not really serious about reopening the government, okay? They're acting. They're pretending.
Down, centered around a one-year extension of the Affordable Care Act.
Okay, they get paid to do what they're doing. Okay, the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter spoke about that. Two horns like a lamb, but spake as a dragon. See, they're coming as a lamb right now because on TV they appear to be these people that care about the well-being of the people, and they appear to be these God-fearing people who want Americans to be happy and to enjoy the American pie and blah, blah, blah. But behind closed doors, they're all working, these people that you see on the screen right here, they're all working together with the so-called elites to help them issue in the New World Order. Okay? This country is being bled dry. And you people are walking right into it.
Subsidies. But Republicans want more debate about that. They're frustrated at Democrats' tactics and seem
No, they're not frustrated.
Likely to accept. This is Senate Majority Leader John Thune told reporters he expects the Senate to stay at least part of this weekend. Meanwhile, it's been 7 days since SNAP, the largest food assistance program in the country, was frozen in the shutdown.
We are in a food crisis.
And of course they're going to show the nigger woman as the face of food stamps when there's more of you so-called white people on food stamps than niggers.
Food banks across the country say they're struggling as courts wrestle over the program. Yesterday, a federal judge ruled that the Trump administration must pay full SNAP benefits for the month immediately. Judge John McConnell found that the administration actually had political reasons for the pause and wrote, "Not making payments for even another day is simply unacceptable." The Trump administration immediately appealed that. Yesterday, Vice President J.D. Vance called that ruling absurd and seemed to question the court's power.
We can't have a federal court telling the president how he has...
Because Trump don't want to hand out SNAP benefits, okay? Because once again, you people fail to realize Trump is just a puppet who's doing exactly what he is told to do by the so-called elites. He's just a puppet, okay? Trump don't have any power of his own. He's only doing what the so-called elites tell him. The so-called elites told Trump to cut those SNAP benefits. Okay? And you see, that's what the Rothschilds want. They want you people to become dependent on the government. So then, when the government start to chop away at these benefits that you're getting from the government, then you'll be at the government's mercy. And that's the spirit, because I've always had the spirit on me to never go to the government for help. Not for food stamps, not for welfare, not for Section 8, none of that shit. Okay? I've always believed in working hard to make ends meet, paying bills and all that shit. Because see, this is what happens when you rely on the government. And not to mention, who is the government controlled by? A bunch of devils and a bunch of Satan worshippers. The book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. For as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Triage the situation. We're not going to do it under the orders.
And the biblical Edomites, which is the self-proclaimed white man, is the enemies of you Israelites out there, which are you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Indians.
A federal judge, we're going to do it according to what we think we have to do to comply with the law, of course.
We don't want to see
Senate Democrats railed at the Trump administration for that.
It's not a game. I don't see this as leverage. Now, a president who refuses to release SNAP funds to feed people, now that is what is irresponsible and irreprehensible leverage.
Yeah, you could tell he's acting. He's acting. He ain't serious about that.
Keeps rising at food banks.
If we're the only food source for people, I just don't know how these kids and elderly and disabled, I don't know what they can do.
And they play on the emotions of the people by bringing up the kids. You know, you got to take kids. Your kids, bro! Your kids! You gotta take care of your kids! You wanna take care of your kids, don't you? We got a chip! We got a chip! Because you gotta take care of your kids! Your kids!
In Ohio, this mother of 4 says she's been skipping meals to help feed her children.
For the last 3 days, I have not eaten anything, to make.
Where the fuck is your man at? Oh, right. America gave you women so much rights and authority and have filled your head up with feminism that you thought you didn't need a man. Now your ass is on camera crying about how you had to skip meals to feed your children. Where the fuck is your man at? Oh, right. You don't need a man, right? A lot of you, and the majority of you women here in America, you're about to catch holy fucking hell. There is a large, dark cloud emitting lightnings and sounding loud thunders approaching the majority of you women out there. And that black cloud is going to rain fire on every single one of you motherfuckers out there. You proud-ass women. Now I don't feel bad for any of you that's out there crying about how you gotta feed your children and blah 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 blah. That's what you get for running with the mindset of you don't need a man. So you feed your children, you feed your kids, you feed them, and good luck with other men that have more power than you, not breaking into your home, beating your ass, raping you, and then taking your food away from you out of your home. Because without a man, you women ain't got no defense. You're through.
I'd rather starve, rather see them go hungry.
The length of the shutdown grows, and quickly, so do its effects. As travel.
And this is what happens when the world is not ran by the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. Because the Holy Scriptures tell you that a woman is supposed to have a man. In the book of Genesis, the Lord created Adam and Eve. There's a balance right there. The man defends the woman provides for the man. That's how the Lord set it up in the beginning. The man defends the woman. Okay? He provides for the woman. He provides for the children. He defends the children, the woman. Okay? And he's the one responsible for ordering his house aright. And without a man, you women ain't got no defense. Go ahead and talk about your guns. What good is your guns going to do against murder robots?
Travelers brace for mass disruptions at airports, and SNAP recipients await the return of benefits. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Lisa Desjardins.
You know, some of these numbers are pretty staggering, showing Americans are carrying more debt than ever before. A new report from the New York Fed says total household debt reached a record $18.6 trillion from July through September. And here's how that all breaks down. The biggest chunk of debt, $13 trillion, comes from mortgages. It's not
yeah, that will be $18,600,000,000,000 in debt, to be exact.
Surprising, given how expensive it is to buy a home. Auto loans and student loans are next at about $1.7 trillion. Then you got credit card debt at $1.2 trillion. All of those are record highs. And when you look at credit cards, part of what's going on is that more people are using cards instead of cash to make purchases. Overall, consumer spending is up. That's good for the economy. What's not so good is that people are paying higher prices and higher interest rates, and lower income households.
And let me say this, food prices are going up too, man. Okay, 4 items from a grocery store can easily be a little over $20. 1 pack of beef sausages is over $20 at our grocery store here. And you get like what? I believe you get like, I think it's over, you get over 20 beef sausages. But I remember when I first moved down here to Niagara Falls, New York, I remember those same pack of beef sausages being only $8.99. They used to be $8.99. You could get 2 packs of those for a little over $18. 2 packs of those beef sausages now would be $40. Over $40. So this country is finished.
Younger Americans under the age of 39 are simply falling behind on their payments. The typical borrower carries a balance of about $6,500 on their card. Today's average interest rate of 20%, if you only make minimum payments, you'll end up owing more than $10,000 in interest on that debt over 2020.
And you know, problem with food wouldn't be a problem if you people knew how to fast. Oh, right, but Americans don't know how to fast. All y'all do is eat. Consume. Okay? You always gotta stuff your motherfucking mouth. And then you wonder why you ain't got no food. And that's the majority of you Americans.
5 years, so you can see how quickly this snowballs, guys.
You see it. Don't get me wrong, some of these people that's in these food bank lines, they really don't need food like that. They're just going to these food bank lines to really stock up on food because they see where this country is heading. They see that the economy is going downhill as well as the financial system. And then you got some people in these lines that actually do need food because they can't afford to pay rent, electricity, internet, water, utility, light bills, on top of their phone bill, and then having to buy food, and then put gas in their car. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, right? In 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, it says what? Measure thou the times diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. He will render unto her a recompense. And the Lord is rendering unto her a recompense. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Right? Babylon, which is the United States of America. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. The nations have drunken of America's wine. What is that wine? That wine is that democracy. Therefore, the nations of these other people have lost their minds. You know, you got other nations that have taken on the customs of America. Now they got moles walking around in the country. Okay, their women now have rights, some form of authority, power. You know, feminism is in some of these other countries. Some of these other countries like Dubai, China, Japan, Tokyo, Shanghai. You know, parts of Ishmael's countries, Bangladesh, Afghanistan. Some of these different countries, even down in Africa, they have skyscrapers. But where was the first skyscraper created at? Here in the United States of America, in Chicago. So these countries, Babylon have been a golden cup that have made all the earth drunken. Okay, now you got gooks wearing suits. You got Ishmaelites, East Indians, which are the Elamites. The Ishmaelites are the Arabians wearing suits. You got Africans wearing suits. Okay, you got Africans wearing suits. Okay, but who started wearing suits first? Okay, Edomites, Americans. Okay, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. Let's look up this word balm, B-A-L-M. Okay, balm. The Hebrew word there is I believe it's Tazaraya. I believe it's Tazaraya. Tazaraya. Okay, and what do we see here? Balsam, balm, salve, a kind of balsam, balm, salve, as merchandise, as medicine. Okay, and medicine is used for what? For healing. This country is not going to be healed. There is no reparations for the United States of America. Okay, we would have healed Babylon, see, but she is not healed. This country is sick, and the Lord have plagued this country with a sickness that it will never recover from. Okay? The only salvation for this country is nuclear destruction. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. And that's nuclear destruction is biblical prophecy. I'm not just saying nuclear destruction because I'm mad, I'm mean, I'm angry. No. Nuclear destruction of Babylon is mentioned in the Holy Scriptures. Okay, read Isaiah 13 verse 19 all the way down to 21. Okay, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, and you see that. You see a lot of people, a lot of Arabians, a lot of East Indians, a lot of Africans, you know, a lot of Chinese and Japanese people that are leaving this country and they're going back to their own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. With that, I'm going to say shalom. It's on to the